Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Liv from Bem Gang. If you're new, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Today's reaction video is entitled 10 Must Know Facts About MMA. Let's see if we can all learn something, because I know we don't all know everything about this sport. Let's check the video out.
10 must-know facts about the UFC. Number 10. Death Punch. In April 2016, 3 days after a bout in Dublin, MMA fighter João Carvalho died as a result of severe blows to the head. The Portuguese fighter was rushed to hospital after he complained that he felt ill following his loss to Charlie Ward. Then he underwent emergency brain surgery. UFC star Conor McGregor, who witnessed the fight, said before Carvalho's death that he thought it could have been stopped a little earlier, and these referees need to be on the ball a little bit. Carvalho's death is the 13th recorded fatality related to MMA. It spurred an online backlash against MMA, and medical associations around the world called for the sport to be banned altogether. Number 9. Doping Scandal. Since the UFC's inception in 1993, it has been heavily criticized for not doing enough to stop MMA fighters from taking performance-enhancing drugs. To combat the criticism, anti-doping policy went into effect in July 2015. The policy called for first-time doping offenders to be suspended from the sport for 2 years. But despite the policy, UFC have consistently come under attack for covering up doping scandals. One high-profile case saw WWE wrestler Brock Lesnar compete in a UFC fight despite 2 failed drug tests. Lesnar went on to win the fight and claim the $2.5 million prize. Number 8. $4 billion deal. In July 2016, UFC owners Lorenzo and Frank Fertitta sold the mixed martial arts company to Hollywood talent agency WME-IMG for a whopping $4 billion. It's the most expensive transaction for an organization in sports history, and is remarkable considering the Fertitta brothers bought the organization in 2000 for just $2 million. The UFC is now worth so much due to the previous owner's strategy of buying and absorbing rival fighting corporations like Pride, World Extreme Cage Fighting, Strikeforce, and the International Fighting League. This led to them becoming the biggest MMA fighting promoter in the world. Despite the sale, though, the Abu Dhabi government, who bought a 10% share in UFC in 2010, remain as shareholders. Number 7. Legality of UFC. With MMA's popularity on the rise, more countries are recognizing the sport and regulating it in the law. At present, MMA is legal in over 20 countries around the world. But despite MMA being the fastest growing sport in America, it wasn't until March 2016 when all 50 states legalized the sport. New York banned MMA in 1997 as it was deemed too violent due to the sport's lack of regulations. In Norway, sports that involve knockouts as a way to secure victory or points are illegal, including MMA. Norwegian MMA fighters have to travel abroad to compete. Number 6. Women's Mixed Martial Arts. Women's MMA has been featured at UFC since 2012. However, UFC president Dana White was not always supportive of women fighting. White felt that UFC audiences would not want to see women getting beaten up, and in 2011, when asked if women could ever feature in UFC, he replied, never. However, just a year later, he signed his first female fighter, Olympian Ronda Rousey, who went on to win the first WMMA UFC title. She then successfully defended her title 6 times before being defeated by Holly Holm in November 2015. Number 5. Mafia Troubles. UFC President Dana White has spoken openly on several occasions about his troubles with the Yakuza in Japan and the Mafia in Mexico. When Zuffa, the company that owns UFC, bought rival fighting brand Pride Group, the Yakuza allegedly prevented the UFC from fully capitalizing on the purchase. White told Fighters Only magazine, "We had plans for Pride. We were going to do Japanese shows. But the mafia runs that place and it is very hard to do business over there.
Crazy.
UFC's president has also faced trouble in Mexico, where he said it was difficult to promote UFC, basically because 5 families control all of Mexico. Number 4. Richest UFC fighter. As of 2016, UFC's richest MMA fighter is Conor McGregor, who has $22 million to his name. McGregor made history by becoming the first MMA fighter to be included in Forbes' 2016 highest paid athletes list. With 3 fights in a year period and endorsement deals from Rolls-Royce, Monster Energy and Reebok, McGregor came in as the 85th highest paid athlete in the world. His featherweight title fight in December 2015, where he defeated Jose Aldo in just 13 seconds, saw him taking home a staggering $1 million. Making him the first UFC fighter to take home a 7-figure paycheck. Number 3. Crazy weight loss techniques. As MMA matches are divided into weight classes to prevent the fights from being unfair, competitors go to great lengths to lose extra pounds before a bout to remain in the lower weight division. A popular weight loss method is extreme dehydration. In fact, fighters can urinate up to 14 kilograms of extra weight over a 5-day period. However, severe dehydration can cause kidney failure, and in extreme cases, it can be fatal. In September 2013, Leandro Souza, an MMA fighter from Brazil, died after reportedly attempting to lose 20% of his body mass in 7 days. Number 2. Reebok Scandal. In 2015, UFC signed a deal with Reebok for it to become the main UFC clothing sponsor. They banned fighters from using their own sponsors inside the octagon. This meant that fighters lost out on millions of dollars in sponsorship deals. Some even claimed that the money they lost from sponsorship was even more than they would have been paid by the UFC for fighting. Brazilian fighter Vitor Belfort came forward in 2016 to accuse the UFC of stealing his sponsorship income, which in turn has essentially reduced his fighting career to a hobby. Number 1. Body trauma. The most commonly injured region of the body for MMA fighters is the head, with 78% of reported injuries related to this area. One of the worst head injuries happened in July 2016 to Evangelista Cyborg Santos when Michael Venom Page kneed him in the head during a bout, fracturing his skull. While fighters fear horrific injuries like these, another common worry is staphylococcal infections. Staph infections are a skin infection that can spread via scrapes, cuts, and sweat. The virus eats gigantic holes in flesh, and many MMA fighters have caught it at some point in their fighting career, including Mayhem Miller and Drew McFedris.
Alright, so thank you so much for watching this video, but what we want to know from you guys is who will win the big fight this weekend? Will it be Conor McGregor?
Or will it be Diaz?
We don't know. What do you think?
I think McGregor, mate.
Ooh,
called him out.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know some of those stuff. Ew, did you see that hole, guys? That was... Why would you want... You know what? Comment down below. Let me know what you think about the video. Yeah, I can't even get over that staph infection. It's crazy. Until next time, guys.
Watching. See you next time. Bye.